Solving a two-step linear inequality, problem type 1. So we're going to be solving these inequalities basically the same way that you've been doing these other ALEKS topics, but there's just a few more steps involved this time. Once again, I'm going to be doing a little more steps than ALEKS does for the purpose of preparing you for the exam. That's what this little note is right here. So looking at this inequality, 3 plus x over 3 is greater than or equal to -1. We want to get the x over 3 by itself completely. So we look at the party crashers around him first, which is this 3. That's the first party crasher. To get the 3 gone, I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. The x over 3 comes down, as does the greater than or equal to sign. -1 minus 3 is -4. To get x by itself, if you have it being divided by 3, you want to multiply both sides by 3. I'm multiplying by a positive number here, which means that I'm not changing the direction of my inequality. So I have x, and the direction stays the same, greater than or equal to, -4 times 3 is -12. So even though I have a negative answer over here, it doesn't flip direction because I multiplied by a positive 3. Even though I multiplied a -4 by the positive 3, what I did on both sides was positive, so I don't change the direction. That's the answer ALEKS wants you to give. For your interval notation answer, here's -12. It's a greater than or equal to sign, so remember if you have underlines, this is going to translate to a closed circle on the number line, and then it translates to brackets in interval notation. If there's no underline on your inequality, that's an open circle on the number line, and parentheses in interval notation. So I have a closed circle. Greater than is going to be this direction here. Negative infinity is down this way, positive infinity is up this way. If I read my inequality from left to right, I'm starting at -12, which gets a bracket, and I go all the way up to infinity, and infinities always get parentheses. And that's my interval notation answer. Let's do another. -1 is less than -9 plus 2x. Right? So we want to get the x by itself, which means we have to start by getting 2x by itself. We'll take care of the -9 first because he's the party crasher. To get rid of a -9, we're going to add 9 to both sides. That will cancel out these 9s here. -1 plus 9 is 8. Let me do that in blue. 8. The direction stays the same because we didn't multiply or divide by a negative. The 9s are gone and we have a 2 left. To get x by itself, we will divide by 2. That will cancel the 2's out. 8 divided by 2 is 4, less than x. To write that in a direction that we're more comfortable with, we put the x on the left and the 4 on the right. The inequality was pointed towards the 4, so we want to make sure it stays pointed towards the 4. On a number line, here's 4. We have no underline, so we do an open circle. Greater than direction is this way. Our interval answer, starting at 4, we get a parenthesis because there's no underline. And then it goes to infinities, and infinities always get parentheses. So really here, we're just kind of combining the tools that we've already learned to use. Let's just do one more. It's the same process, just 2 steps in one. Right, so here we have x over 4 minus 4 is greater than or equal to -5. I want to get rid of this -4 first. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. That cancels the 4's. The x over 4 can come down. The direction of the inequality remains the same because we did not multiply or divide by a negative. -5 plus 4 is -1. So we have x over 4 is greater than -1. To get rid of the 4 in the denominator, we multiply both sides by 4. And even though the right side is going to come out to be a negative number, we multiply both sides by a positive number, so we're not going to flip the direction of our inequality. We have x greater than or equal to -1 times 4 is -4. So x greater than or equal to -4 is our answer there. Here's -4. We have an underline on our inequality, so we're going to fill in our circle. The greater than direction is this direction here. Negative infinity down this way, positive infinity up this way. And then -4 to infinity is our interval answer. So that's that on this one. You're doing the same thing you've done in the previous ALEKS topics, but you're just doing two things at once this time. You're trying to get x by itself, and it's a lot like inequalities. Just make sure that if you multiply or divide by a negative, that you flip the direction on your inequality. Keep doing a good job. You got this.